Northbound and down, loaded up and trucking. We gonna do what they say can't be done. Yes, I know it's not north. To the YouTube proofreaders out there, I'm heading north, so I changed the words. So it's okay. I don't need like links to like the lyrics and stuff. Okay, so we're rolling. Let's just chat for a bit. So I've been on the road for an hour and 16 minutes, and I am happy to report not a single thing is on fire. And that I've found from actual experience is a positive. Like, if you manage your expectations, it's like, anything on fire? Nope. Woo, success. Like, that works. Because in 19, shit caught fire. I mean, you know, but. So I'm checking my tire pressures on the rig. They're about 85 PSI, which is perfect. It is now 80 degrees outside, and my tires are 84 degrees, which is shocking. I thought it'd be higher than that. I'm getting 9.5 miles a gallon because that is what I get when I pull my RV. It doesn't matter if the RV is empty, full of water, whatever. It don't matter. And she's pulling straight as an arrow. So I know some of you truck drivers out there, which I really appreciate it. I honest to God do when someone says, like, you might want to check this, you might want to check that. Because I'm a casual frickin' suburbanite that I pulled my rig a lot, but I am not an expert. So when we talk about load balancing and stuff, toy haulers are built to haul toys. I just said that on video, didn't I? The whole ass end is empty. It weighs nothing when it's, you know, just sitting there with nothing in it. So all the refrigerator, the stove, the water tank, most of the slide mechanism, the bed, the propane tanks, the generator, the blah, 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 blah. That's all on the nose. So when I'm just using this as a family camper, she's wild. Like, you know, all the weight's on the nose. You got nothing in the rear, and it actually makes it squirrely. So my experience is it pulls really well with like two Harley dressers in there is when it's like most level. So right now I'm pulling more than I ever have in my rig. So I got the CVO, which weighs 950-ish wet. The Ultra, which is another probably 70 pounds. So it actually is about 1,000 pounds wet with the tour pack on and everything else. And the golf cart's about 1,200 pounds heavier than I thought it was. So I'm pulling, it's probably about 13.5 right now. The rig, a little bit of water. I filled it like halfway with water. There's about 20 gallons of gas in the gas tank for the generator if I need it. Clothes and Mrs. Monkey's shoes, which is about 900 pounds. Just kidding. So yeah, so I'm pulling about 13.5, and she's pretty well straight as an arrow. Although, to sound like the dude who makes the vacuums out of England, when a tractor trailer goes by, I get suction. It's a real thing. So when their, you know, 15-foot high, 14-foot high trailer goes next to my 13.5-foot high trailer, there's negative pressure between the walls, and she just pulls in. Like, it's a eye-opening experience the first time that you're driving along, and all of a sudden your truck just turns left. Just in, you know, they don't have the problems. They have 18 wheels. I have fewer wheels than that on the ground. So if you don't realize this, you should. If you have an RV, the RV's driving your truck, not the other way around, because again, that's 13.5-ish. This ain't. So when tractor trailer goes by, you pucker a little bit, but you get used to it and realize it's not going to be a problem. But so I'm now an hour in. I've got another 5 hours to go. Today's a short day. I typically try and plan a short day on the front end. I'm doing about 500 miles a day only to a campground up in Cordell, Georgia. Cordell? Somebody told me it's Cordell. I don't know. Cordell, Georgia, because I used the first night to check everything and make sure everything's right. So I put in about 500 miles and then spend several hours massaging, maintaining, tweaking, tightening straps, making sure there's any problems. And then the live stream is tonight. I don't know when I'm going to upload this because I don't know what I'm doing. Live stream's tonight, 8 p.m. I'll be on. This will probably go up after. It all depends on when I get there. Maybe I'll throw this up this afternoon. And then 8 p.m. tonight, we'll still go live from the rig. You know, there's no place for me to sit, and I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. Mrs. Monkey is at the beach with her mama and my daughter and my niece and her sister. The sister's there. Yeah. And her aunt. but I think that the missus is still going to log in from there. So that's it, kiddies. Anything else happens funny, and I'll probably do some road. This is what I'm looking at for the next many days. So I'll do some high-speed vroom vroom stuff, and there you go. Hell's wrong with me? I was just thinking, oh, let me change the angle. I mean, you want to see me and all my there? That's much better. I don't know. On road trips, I'm just going to document every stupid thing that I do. So I've already stopped and filled up. First time averaging about 9.5 miles a gallon, and diesel's been about 3.5, about 350. So more than last year, that's for sure. This year's been easier. Last year there was a massive accident in Orlando that made me get off the highway, go all the way through downtown Orlando, which is not a terrible city to do this with, but sucked. And then, you know, delayed me at least 30, 40 minutes. And then I'm crossing everything I got, including parts you can't see. Last year there was an accident, closed the highway, closed 75 in Georgia. And I don't remember the name of the road, but it sent me up, like the police made you get off the highway, on that was Little Red something something mountain road. And I'll tell you what, I've said this on another video, I think. It was like pulling the rig up Iron Mountain Road in Sturgis. Like, left turns so tight that the rig was in the oncoming lane. Like, when I'm going around these sharp turns. And I'm laughing hysterically going, I'm gonna kill somebody. And I have no choice. Like, they made me get off. They made you go that way. That was the only way back to the highway around. Totally not safe. But anyway, got it done. Everything's safe in the back. But I, by the way, I stopped and had lunch real quick when I filled up and checked on the bikes, and they're still this way, which is the way you want them to be. You don't want them so much this way or that way. You want them like that, and so far, that's the way they are. But I was just thinking, since I was a teenager, anytime I see the billboard for a strip club, I have to yell, titty bar! Like every time. Doesn't matter who's in the car. With my mother in the car, I would scream that out. Then again, by the time I was a grown man, my mother had long since accepted the dude that she had created and let go of that. And probably yelled it with me a few times if she saw it first. I knew she used to yell Tiggo Biddies all the time. That's for having me as a son. A woman's just got to surrender eventually, be like, this is the frickin' idiot that I raised. So, but so far, we're doing real well. This year's doing well. We're smooth sailing. The rig's pulling right. I've got 250 miles in, and I think that's a pretty decent gauge to say, like, it's pulling straight. The new tires, that's a thing. Those of you out there with RVers, some of you said you wait until you get rid of a load of brand new Corvettes. Anyway, I mean a whole truck full of them. What was I saying? Oh, I took them China bombs off that came on it, and if you nurse them, you can get some miles on it. Mine probably had 7, maybe 8,000 miles on them, and they were, let's be honest, this is a 20, so it's probably made 2 years old. And so for peace of mind, I got some Goodyear Endurance, which are like the last American-made trailer tires that are good for an RV, that are E-rated, which is what this takes. Couldn't put G's on it, for someone says. Couldn't put G-rated tires, which are higher, which are a more sturdy tire for higher weights, because I don't think my wheels could handle G-rated tires. So, anyway, E-rated Goodyear Endurance. A few of you said who have RVs said, wait until you feel how your rig pulls. It actually makes a difference. And I'll be damned, it was right. Those China bombs that came on this thing had a lot of like lateral sway. You know, like the sidewalls were just, I guess, not very strong. Not so much wall as side divider. And they were soft, and I guess it would just make them sway. And these don't do it. It's pulling much better than it was. So that's the last update. Hopefully next time I check in, it'll be from the campground, and we'll sit and have a libation. See you in a bit. So now we're back. Not back. What am I talking about? I'm at a KOA campground in Cordell, Georgia. Sorry about the noise. I cannot turn the air conditioning off, or I'm afraid the gasoline in the tanks will ignite. It is 107 degrees when I pulled in here. Fun fact, a 15,000 BTU AC unit, let me go up front, it's not as noisy, is really only intended to drop the temp by about 20 degrees overall in a rig. Do the math, that means 87 is the best it's gonna be able to do. The good thing is, I have my portable AC unit. Pow, I thought ahead. Every year we bring this portable AC unit we keep in the house, just because it's Florida, man, and there's some parts of the year where the front side of the house is really friggin' hot, and then in the afternoon the back side of that. So we have this portable that we just keep in the house. And I learned the hard way on a trip once that you need this guy up front. So what I do is, this is a ducted AC unit, but I have the blast vent open in the main room so it's not pushing to these. Those are not doing anything right now, but this guy will do it. It'll at least cool the bedroom down, and then I can run the big AC just for the big room. And it'll get there. It's just still, best it's gonna do is high 70s, I bet. Until the sun goes down, then it'll be better. It's basically just whatever your roof temperature is. And if it's 107 outside, it's probably 115 on the roof. So there you go. Here's my my living arrangements the next few days. I do have a recliner. I was able to move one to the other side. No, it's not touching the bike or the wall. Magically, it's like a millimeter's clearance. So tonight's live stream will be from me sitting in that chair next to all the toys. And I have a little scotch and soda lined up. Looking forward to that. Thanks to Kelly, who sent me a bottle of Macallan. Breaking into that. And then, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and upload this, and then I'll talk to y'all eventually. I was trying to see what time it is, but in a few hours. But we'll talk real soon. Bye.